I shared today's post with some hesitation, but I feel compelled to share it anyway. So I was looking at the news as usual, war in Ukraine, destruction in Gaza, fear in India and Pakistan, violence in Afghanistan, a divided United States with attempted assassinations, gun violence, racism, prejudice, bigotry, fear, hatred, and emerging schism in Europe, China with its global ambitions for power and supremacy, North and South Korea conflicts. The world seems to be sleepwalking to extinction with medieval minds and modern capacities. This is just the violence being inflicted by humans to each other and therefore to themselves. But there is also eco-destruction, extinction of species, mechanized death, as I just mentioned, climate change, an unsustainable planet, and apparently all of us seemingly sleepwalking to extinction. So today I want to reflect with you on the idea that which we call the normal mind is the psychopathology of the average mind. Divided, conflicted, self-absorbed, scared, and angry. The evidence is all around us. So let us examine this. Let's offer a critique of what is considered the standard state of human consciousness. So let's explore it through various philosophical, psychological, and spiritual lenses. Can we understand what the normal mind is? In Zen and Taoist philosophy, the concept of the normal mind, or what is actually called the ordinary mind, is often discussed. The normal mind is the natural, unconditioned state of being that responds freely and spontaneously to circumstances without the fetters of reactivity and negative learned patterns of behavior. This state is characterized by generosity, compassion, and wisdom rather than greed, hatred, and delusion. However, the normal mind in everyday practice often refers to the habitual mind, which is plagued by reactivity and conditioned responses. The habitual mind is what I'm referring to right now as the psychopathology of the average mind, a state marked by internal conflict, self-absorption, fear, and anger. By the way, I'm not saying this out of condescension. I'm saying this just as mere observation and, expressing my opinion for what it's worth. Philosophical psychopathology examines the nature of mental disorders through philosophical lenses. And it suggests that disturbances in intentionality and consciousness are central to understanding mental illnesses. The average mind with its emotional and rational conflicts can be seen as inherently pathological from this perspective. I'm sure you've heard of Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Abraham Maslow, great transpersonal psychologist, posited that being normal often indicates a failure to seek self-actualization, leading to stagnation and pathology. The average mind, content with meeting basic needs and societal norms, may neglect the pursuit of higher goals and personal growth, resulting in a state of internal conflict and dissatisfaction. Buddhist psychology offers a framework for understanding the mind's tendencies towards seeking suffering or dukkha and dissatisfaction. It emphasizes the importance of mindfulness and ethical living to overcome these tendencies. The average mind, driven by desires and aversions, is seen inherently conflicted and prone to suffering. The average mind is often divided and conflicted due to the constant push and pull of desires, fears, and societal expectations. This internal division can lead to self-absorption as individuals become preoccupied with their own struggles and anxieties. Fear and anger are common responses to the perceived threats and frustrations that arise from this conflicted state. So, what are the main differences between the habitual, conflicted, I would say, pathological mind and the natural mind? Here are some very key differences. First is thought patterns. The habitual or divided mind is characterized by repetitive automatic thoughts. It relies on ingrained patterns and assumptions. It operates without conscious awareness. The natural mind is open, clear, and responsive to the present moment. It is free from fixed ideas and preconceptions. It is characterized by curiosity and fresh perception. When it comes to the emotional state, the habitual mind is driven by fears, desires, and past conditioning. It can lead to unnecessary suffering and conflict. It may be prone to negative self-talk and rumination. The natural mind is less reactive to emotional triggers. It is able to observe emotions without being overwhelmed by them. Of course, there's a relationship to past experiences, the habitual or divided mind, or the pathological mind, or what we call the normal mind, or the psychopathology of the average. It's frequently caught up in past memories or future projections. It may resist or try to change current experiences. It filters reality through preconceived notions. The natural mind, on the other hand, is fully engaged with the present moment. It accepts experiences as they are without judgment. It directly perceives reality without conceptual overlays. When it comes to effort and control, the divided mind often strives to control outcomes and experiences. It expends energy trying to achieve specific mental states. It resists unwanted thoughts or feelings. The natural mind is relaxed and effortless. It allows experience to arise and pass naturally. It embraces all aspects of consciousness without preference. When it comes to flexibility and adaptability, the divided mind tends to be rigid and resistant to change. It relies on familiar patterns even when ineffective. It struggles with novel situations. The natural mind is flexible and responsive to changing circumstances. It is able to see situations from multiple perspectives. It adapts easily to new information and experiences. What about self-conception? The habitual mind or the divided mind is strongly identified with a fixed sense of self. It defends and reinforces ego-based identity. It may be driven by self-centered concerns. The natural mind experiences a more fluid and expansive sense of self. It is less attached to personal identity. It is naturally inclined towards compassion and interconnectedness. So, in essence, the habitual divided mind operates, or conditioned mind, or pathological mind, however you want to phrase it. This mind operates on autopilot, often perpetuating patterns that may no longer serve us, while the natural mind remains open, clear, and responsive to life as it unfolds in each moment. Cultivating the natural mind through meditation, through mindfulness, through introspection, through awareness of awareness, and through the 8 limbs of yoga can lead to greater peace, clarity, and freedom from habitual patterns of thought and behavior. So, I hesitate to say this, but our leaders, national leaders, corporate leaders, leaders in our society, political leaders, and those who are in charge are projecting our collective divided mind. And I look at, in the United States, I look at both sides, Democrats, Republicans, and their leaders. They're just reflecting our pathological mind, our divided mind, our conditioned mind. We can't even blame them. So much for the leaders who run this world. So the leaders and the conditioned collective mind are entangled. They co-create each other. They're complementary to each other. And then we say, what about these great spiritual teachers? They've been spiritual teachers, the sages of the Upanishads, great luminaries like Adi Shankara, Rumi, Jesus, Buddha. What about them? I think they definitely pointed the way to the whole mind, which is the source of healing, which is holy, and which is already healed. They pointed the way. What about modern gurus? Well, I won't say go there, because the modern spiritual movement, which in many ways has become a form of spiritual materialism, actually aggrandizes the identity of the guru, when the function of spirituality is to transcend that identity. So I will talk about spiritual materialism and how even modern gurus are in fact going in the direction of sacrificing the self for the selfies and seeking adulation and worship, and actually not helping us or themselves to transcend the divided mind. I know this might sound offensive to some people, but I thought it's important to share it. Let me know what you think, and you can always engage with me by going to digitaldeepak.ai, and we can explore this thinking. And anytime you feel I'm not helpful, let me know, and I will Julie, shut up.